Wait for a return call. All right, thanks so much. All right, you're listening to a WHAV News special report, Hunking School, yes or no. Voters have overwhelmingly approved the construction of the Hunking School replacement. It will incorporate the Greenleaf School and help with the overcrowding of 200 students at schools throughout the city. The unofficial vote, if I have it here correctly, yes, 4,807 voters saying yes, no, 1,778. You just heard from one of the co-chairs of the Haverhill for Hunking project. She's delighted. She thanked Haverhill voters. She herself was surprised that her goal of winning every precinct was accomplished. We're going to take a brief break, again, maybe a little bit of music while we await another report from WHAV News Director Dana Esmel. He's trying to track down the mayor or the superintendent of schools to give us their thoughts and our next update. Stay tuned. Hunking School, yes or no? WHAV special election coverage continues in just a moment.
Besides the music, listen to interesting and informative features throughout the day. Weekday programs include Democracy Now! And many others. Only local radio can bring you this combination of music, news, and features. But only WHAV does.
Catch the wave!
This is Tom Hartman inviting you to tune in to the Tom Hartman program on WHAV every weekday beginning at 3. I'll be here 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, taking your calls live. We'll tackle critical issues that impact working people at home, on the job, and throughout society. The Tom Hartman program is your media support group for We the People. Again, please join me weekdays beginning at 3 right here on WHAV. Remember, only local radio can bring you this progressive talk opportunity, but only WHAV does.
This program is supported in part by a grant from the Haverhill Cultural Council, a local agency which is supported by the Massachusetts Cultural Council, a state agency.
Community Spotlight.
The Haverhill Public Library will offer an Intro to Genealogy class where patrons can learn about the library's special collections and how to use them to research a family tree or the history of Haverhill. Classes require advanced registration and sign-ups begin on June 10th. To learn more, call the Reference Department at 978-373-1586, extension 608, or visit them during library hours for more information. Someone you know is on WHAV. To submit or read your own nonprofit announcements, click on the Contact tab at WHAV.net or email news@WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, this is Nate Webster.
Hunking School, yes or no? WHAV presents special live election coverage from the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom. Okay, we're back here at WHAV. Dana Esmel is at the Bradford Country Club. He has Haverhill Superintendent of Schools James F. Scully with him. All right.
That's right, Tim.
All right.
Good evening, and it is a festive evening, as I said before, here at the Bradford Country Club after the supporters of the debt exclusion question won a decisive victory here this evening and in the city. And now I'm going to pass you over to Superintendent Jim Scully from the Haverhill Public Schools. Jim?
Superintendent Scully, this is Tim Coco. Well,
Tim, I have to tell you, I have your card on my desk. If this is victorious tonight, I was going to call you first thing in the morning and tell you we have a new committee assignment for you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your note. But I read your note on the air. I hope you don't mind. Last night about getting a chair on a piece of the famous orange carpet, and serving as chairman of the Central Office Relocation Committee. And one of our listeners thought, if I made a tie out of that rug, it would look better than the one I was wearing. So
we'll get you a piece, trust me.
Well, congratulations. Now, were you surprised that you, first of all, won, and second of all, won every precinct in the city of Haverhill?
Well, what I've learned since I've been back here in Haverhill is that people in Haverhill want to do things right. They want the truth, they want the facts, and they want things done correctly. And if you do it in that fashion with those three components in mind, I have found people to be very supportive. And that's what we've done. And we've done it on, MCAS scores. We've done it on what works and what doesn't work. Buildings clean or dirty. We've told the truth. We've told the facts. And I think here it was very clear what the options were, what the problems were. They were surmountable. And I think we presented it to the people correctly, not an overnight. And we presented the options. We researched all the options, and I think we came out with the best opinion, the best product, with the input of so many people and parents and community leaders all bonded together and put forth that option. And tonight, the people of Haverhill were very, very supportive, and I think we're all very grateful. And I'm very grateful to them. And I know I've heard from so many people in the school department tonight, they're all so appreciative, Tim.
All right, well, I have to say, I thought you might lose a couple of the downtown precincts, but you won even those, even by a couple of votes.
Sure.
So you've won, it looks like you won everything, obviously overwhelming in Bradford. But now, what's the next step? Do you go out to bid now, or is there some more architectural work required?
Well, now that the voters have approved it, we have to notify the state and refine the drawings, and just spend the next 6 months refining and going out for prices on different subcontracts, and hopefully right around the first of the year we'll be in the ground and ready to go.
Okay,
With
so
a completion date of about January 2017.
Okay, that's just in the nick of time, is that right?
Yes, it is. That's correct.
Well, that'll be midway through a school year. You think that'll work?
Yes, it will. Yep. My hope is if we can do it midway through the school year, we can maybe move over the students from the existing school and then phase in the students from the other schools.
All right, and then
So we're fully populated within 6 months.
Okay, and then you have a little wiggle room.
Yes, we do.
For construction. All right, so the next few months then is one, getting the final state approvals. I imagine recording the vote with the Secretary of the Commonwealth, and then refining the drawings, going to bid, and then you say groundbreaking next January.
Probably, maybe in the fall we'll try to do the groundbreaking. That's a good question.
I would think that
I'm
might
not sure
be
about that, but we'll do it as soon as we can.
Better than sticking the shovel in snow, maybe.
I think so. We've had enough of snow.
All right. Well, congratulations on your overwhelming victory. You obviously did a lot of work on this campaign. You appeared on the Open Mic Show. You appeared in many other places, answered reporters' questions, no matter what the media. So obviously, the committee is grateful for your work. And now the next job, of course, half jokingly, is working on the central office relocation.
Well, we got another project for you. As I said, we'll get you some of that orange carpet.
All right, then. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I appreciate everything. I appreciate you bringing me on the show, and I'll be glad to go back on it.
Yes, we want to have you on more often, as a matter of fact. So
we'll do it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay. And it's nice meeting my old buddy here from a long time ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Your partner in crime.
That's right. WHAV News Director Dana Esmo. That's
Yeah.
right. You were in a different city, and so was he, right?
Different city, same river.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to put it. Well,
Hey,
well,
thank you.
congratulations, and
Thank
have
you.
some fun partying there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So, Dana, are you back?
Superintendent James Scully of the Haverhill Public Schools. Now, Tim, I'd like to pass this over to Haverhill Mayor James Fiorentini with some comments about tonight's election outcome.
Mayor Fiorentini.
How are you?
Very good. Now, did you? Were you? I knew the strategy was an overwhelming Bradford vote, but you actually won the other side of the river too overwhelmingly. So the city is not as divided as maybe some pundits would have predicted. Were you surprised?
No, I never thought it was. We're not. In some cities, like in Lawrence, where Dan Rivera won 80% on one side and then lost the other side to Antigua, or in Amesbury, which is pretty evenly divided. In Haverhill, normally if you carry one part of the city, you're going to carry the other part. But our strategy from day one was to turn out a big vote in Bradford, run up a big margin in Bradford, so that if we didn't win on the other side of the river, we could make up for it.
And you did that for sure in Bradford. The biggest turnouts were in Ward 7.
I want to make it clear that the Haverhill for Hunking ladies, the hunking moms, are responsible for the victory. They did a fabulous job. They're among the best people that I've ever worked with, although the mayors are pretty nice too. But these ladies did an absolutely phenomenal job. The two co-chairs, Dale Windle and Karen Pugh, and all of the other ladies that went door to door every single weekend for months, they were just phenomenal. They ran a professional, well-run campaign.
All right, Mayor, what's the next step? The superintendent says there's going to be some refinement of drawings, but I imagine you have to certify the vote. Tell us what happens next.
Well, the next step is to make sure we live up to our promise to the voters, that this does not run over the cost of the last two debt exclusions. And we're going to work hard to make sure we keep our promises.
All right. The superintendent says you possibly would break ground by fall. Are you that optimistic?
I never like to predict that, because if you say the fall and then you break ground in December, you're behind schedule.
Well, I know what you mean. I did joke that he might be sticking it in snow if we have a winter like last year.
If you say you're going to break ground in January and you break ground in December, you're ahead of schedule. If you say you're going to break ground in the fall, you're in December, you're a bum. So
okay, I understand. So what is that cliche then? Under promise and over deliver. I think I've heard you say that, actually.
Absolutely, John Lindsay. Rudy Giuliani says that in his book, and that's my mantra. Politicians always love to say that they're ahead of schedule, and it's very easy to do that. Just give an incredibly prolonged schedule.
All right, then.
Under budget, just give an outrageous budget, and then you're always under budget.
But in any event, you expect to meet the 2017 deadline.
Yeah, we'll meet it. I didn't even like to say that. I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do everything we can to come in at or below the price that we promised to voters. And I also want to ensure that people listening to your show that this is not the start, this is the end. There will not be another request for an override or a debt exclusion.
All right, then. So you're not you're pretty confident in the ability of the remaining schools to continue doing the jobs they've been doing.
We'll do whatever we need to do with those schools to keep them up to date, but I'm not going to support another override or debt exclusion. That was my promise, and I intend to keep it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mayor Fiorentini.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you for your support.
Well, congratulations for your campaign. And
okay, Tim.
Yes.
That, I think, wraps up things here at the Country Club this evening.
Okay, then, Dana, we expect you back here. I know that we'll have, we're going to tell our listeners that we'll have a news update at 11 o'clock tonight and then 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And, of course, that means Dana has to work late and arrive early. Isn't that fair? All right. So, anyway, thank you very much, Dana. We're gonna let you go so you can get back here. I'm going to give a final update to the listeners.
Okay.
Right. Thanks so much. All right, that was Dana Esmel at Bradford Country Club, where he spoke with Superintendent of Schools James F. Scully and Haverhill Mayor James J. Fiorentini. Mayor Fiorentini promising this is the last time, the first and last time he'll ask voters to support a debt exclusion. Voters tonight overwhelmingly in every precinct of the city's 21 precincts overwhelmingly voted yes for the Hunking and Greenleaf School's replacement project. The unofficial vote count, yes, 4,807 votes. The noes, 1,778. That concludes WHAV's election coverage. Hunking School, yes or no? The question has been answered. It is yes. Stay tuned to WHAV. Coming up will be the weather, and then we'll have an update of today's events at 11 p.m. Thank you for listening. Hunking School, Yes or No, was a presentation of WHAV News. Any opinions expressed during this program do not necessarily reflect the views of WHAV, its underwriters, or affiliated stations. This program came to you from the Edwin V. Johnson